Welcome to Community Talk Radio. This is Project Independence and You, Talk of the Town on LIU Public Radio. I'm Kristina Liu, along with my co-host Paula Ewell, who is the Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Services for the Aging, and Otto Lowe's co-host, friend, volunteer, all-around project ambassador. We really put him to work every week. Our first hour of the show, we had on Carol Lettner, who talked all about how to optimize your physical and emotional health and how the emotional health impacts the physical health. And I think it's a perfect time of year to really talk about that. And I hope our listeners, took some golden nuggets to take with them in their family gatherings and whatnot during the holiday season. So really good stuff.
Bottom line, I believe, is you have to work at.
It's work, and that's all I kept thinking.
It doesn't, most people don't just pop out of bed like, oh, boy.
Right.
No, like a Disney movie, the birds chirping. I like to pretend sometimes that's how it's like, oh.
There's some
beautiful
on the
day.
planet that are like that,
Yeah.
but most of us have
No.
to work at
Yes.
keeping positive and.
I prefer like
Yeah.
the snooze.
Yeah.
Snooze.
How many snooze can you do?
That's really more of my kind of go-to
Is there a
thing.
limit to the snooze you can push? Probably not,
Please.
right?
Sleeping next to my
Please.
husband who has 10,000 alarms set off every 5 minutes. And I am not the, I'm more of a night person than a
Right.
morning person. I will
Do you do
certainly.
Wordle at all?
I do not.
I do a little
You do
bit,
Wordle?
yeah.
I bombed today.
I didn't do it today. I do it later if I
I'm
have
not going to
lunch.
tell you the word.
Don't tell me.
But I bombed.
Really?
That's all right, Otto.
And
You
that's
know
the
what?
first thing I do in the start of the day is Wordle.
Yeah, that's good. I try to do it around lunchtime.
You know what it is, what I think of too, the show, when we've had this kind of topic and stuff, it's, these little things you try and do, and which I also try to do, because you wake up in the morning and I have to fight against my instinct to grab my cell phone to check it.
Yes.
Because, there would be a text from work or my family, and I want to know what the day has in
Right,
store.
right.
And 99% of the time there is a text message.
Right.
Or my mom emailing me at 3 o'clock in the morning because she didn't want to text me because she
Right.
didn't want my phone to go off. So there's, a
Right.
whole thing.
One of those.
But, I remember we had a speaker on who said, just take 5 minutes even.
Right. Yes.
Just to ease yourself into your day, whether you stretch or just lie there or,
Right.
take some breaths.
Yeah.
It's just before you immediately, and I have to,
Right.
and speaking of
You
that,
have
it's
to
work.
work at it,
So that's
yeah.
work for me. It's out of my nature
Yes.
to not go, oh my God, did I miss
Yep.
anything? Is everyone okay? I'm immediately high
But
alert.
don't you
Right,
find
right.
like every day is a little different? Like some days you wake up ahead of any alarm or
Right,
whatever.
right.
And you get up.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there are other days like this morning.
Yeah.
Where yesterday I had this fun day with, getting fiber
Otto.
TV put in.
Oh, my gosh.
Which, yeah,
Yes,
it was a
we'll
whole
get to-
long
yeah.
story.
I'm sorry.
The closet that I have in my office, which
Yeah.
has got a lot of stuff in it. Well, that was where the line actually was coming in.
Oh, no.
for the
See, it
fiber.
emptied everything
So
out.
now that,
Oh, no.
first thing that happens is take everything
Oh,
out
Oh,
of
my
the
gosh.
closet.
That's
I
the
feel
worst.
the.
And
the
while at it,
stress.
threw out about 3/4 of it,
Yeah.
so
Well,
that
there you
was a
go.
good
See,
thing.
you made the best
there
of
you
it.
go.
Yeah, it was
So-
on my to-do list anyhow to clean it,
Yeah,
so.
there you go. You start a little earlier than anticipated. No,
But
it is
the
true.
point
You
is
get-
that
yeah.
stuff is short-term stress,
Yeah.
which changes how you sleep a little bit.
It does. You're certainly right. And then, or you could have a Boston Terrier like myself who will be your wake up call. He'll just come flying in that bed and say, now is the time for everyone to get up. So.
And then you bomb on Wordle first.
And then you want, what?
I don't do that. I don't. That's why in the morning I don't like to start.
That's right, Otto. Don't let that, ruin your day.
It's nice. My husband has the coffee already and set up on a timer. So when my alarm clock goes off 5:30, I smell the coffee immediately. So that does it. We're upstairs, coffee's downstairs. All right, I'm
Start
up now.
this day. I know.
Yeah. So, but then the next decision I have is, because I walk most mornings, but this morning it was 26 and it was 17-degree wind chill. My friend, I saw the text right away. My friend is like, too cold for you? I was like, yep.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I made 20 degrees. I don't know why.
You were crazy.
My
Yeah.
cutoff.
Yeah.
if the wind chill is under 20,
is-
I'm not going out.
yeah.
And plus, as you get older too, I
But the
feel the
wind is
cold.
a big thing.
It is.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'll
But
have
you
to
walk
catch up
every
with
morning?
that. Well, during the week,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
And then we try
morning.
to go, my husband and I try to take a pretty decent walk over the weekend. Yeah.
How many,
We
how
are into
long, like how
28
period
years
of time?
now. We've been doing it. It can vary depending on our schedule a little, but probably I'd say a mile and a half-ish.
So
I
like
shoot for 2 miles
25
by like
minutes?
9, 10 o'clock. Yeah,
9.5
Yeah.
hours, something
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
That's what I do, about a half hour.
Yeah. And
Not
it's just
every
a
morning.
nice-
I'm not a
Yeah.
morning walker.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I am. And when it's dark out when you're walking,
After
that's
breakfast.
tricky. You know,
Yeah.
I don't eat breakfast till I get to work.
See,
4
but you have
hours
to go
later.
to work. I don't have
Yeah.
to do that.
Well, that's the difference. I'm on
Yeah.
a, you
But
know.
a lot of days, I mean, I have a lot of things I do.
Yeah, maybe someday if I retire, I'll change that game plan a little bit, but that's not anytime soon. Like,
That's
you
right.
know,
She's
wanna
not
make
allowed,
that
let's
clear
not
for-
throw that
for
word
everybody.
retirement around on this
You
show.
might not get up at 5:30 when you retire
But you know
either,
what?
'cause
On the weekends, I wake up early, not
Yeah.
5:30.
Not I, guys.
but
Full just do
I
not.
still
I
do
can't
too, for
sleep.
that matter.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
sleep very late.
I'm
but,
way more of a nighttime kind of gal.
yeah,
You know, that's when.
but,
that's
but
when
I
it
think
starts
it's
flowing.
also important to say, you know, the topic we were on today with Carol is that, you know, there's a sense of you should be doing more.
Yes,
you
it's a
should be
great point.
reaching
That's
out.
yes.
But I think there's a
Yeah.
flip side to that too, which is like, if that's not your comfort level, what else are you doing to
Yeah.
stimulate your thinking, to, you know, to get that same feeling in other ways?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
'cause
you're
not
so right.
everybody wants to be
I mean,
in a
I
big,
know people
I mean,
who've-
if you're an introvert or you like quiet
Yeah,
and things quiet,
That's fine.
you're not going to go to big things.
Yeah.
But with Project Independence, you know, what I'd like to think is that, you know, especially if we have our social workers or nurses involved, we're going to get a sense of what does somebody like, what's important to them, how do we connect them to different things, and even the most basic, like we have a telephone reassurance program. So if someone's really, you know, mostly alone, we'll offer to call and just check in and talk.
I
and,
agree 1,000% that
Yeah.
you can't make people be who they are not.
Yeah.
All right. If you're comfortable with self,
Right, yes.
being introvert,
Right.
which is not like a negative.
No,
you
right.
make it
Right,
sound
it's
like
the
a
personality,
negative.
right,
No,
it's
it's
not.
not.
That's who you are.
That's who you are,
There's
right.
nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And if you're comfortable with that,
Yeah.
that's great. You're comfortable in your skin.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, because we talk
Yes,
about
we
that
talk-
all the time about, you know, Bunny, Otto's wife, is like an avid reader too. And, you know, could spend, that's where, and my family is divided, right? I have like some family members who that is their happy place, to curl up, read a book, get lost in that book, you know, and then that was like how my grandma was. And my grandpa was way more like, let's go out, let's
Right,
experience, you
right.
know, and, you know, and they're just two different types of people, you know, and I think it's, you know, and I like that you said that, Paula, because you can hear a lot of these topics and think, oh my God, I should be doing more. I need to
Right,
change
yeah.
everything about myself, you know. But I really am, and I said
Yeah.
it before, a firm believer. And, you know, you just take one little golden nugget
Right,
and
that's
incorporate
it.
that
Yeah,
into
I'm
your
a
life.
mixture,
Yeah.
frankly. I mean,
Yeah.
Me too, right.
I have zero problem being by myself.
Right. Me too.
You know.
I enjoy my own
Yeah.
company.
Yeah, me too. I mean, you know, and Bunny does too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you
it's
described,
great.
you
So
and
does
your
my
husband
husband. Yep.
can both sit there and read.
Yeah.
We could sit there for 5 hours and not even talk.
Right. Yeah.
Just doing what
Right.
you're doing, and
Right,
you know,
and that's it,
But it
yeah.
doesn't mean we don't like each
No,
other.
right, right.
It means we're happy doing.
Yeah, you're
what
just
we're
comfortable
doing.
in the silence. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I just think that it's important also to realize that. But then, you know, what some of our programming, what we try to do, like we have a lot of really fun programming. Our exercise is great. But you can watch it on North Hempstead TV, so you can be in your own home. But we've also been bringing in some programming, like like journaling and you know, writing for memory stimulation. We do on Fridays some therapeutic coloring. Which is also another thing that people have been really
it's
enjoying.
totally-
But
there's
they're,
just-
they're
yeah, there's an
calmer and
right,
they're
and there's-
simple
and there's a
small
diverse-
group. Yeah,
Type, and that's what we at
Well,
Project
and, you
Independence
know,
we try to do.
A lot of
Yeah.
people don't want to go by themselves
Right,
to a
yes.
thing like that.
Yes.
Other people have no problem with doing that.
Yes.
Some people will travel the world
Right,
by
to-
themselves.
right, yes.
Some people won't go to Staten Island by
Right.
themselves.
or Roosevelt Field. Like
Yeah, me. Me.
we
Same.
hate them all.
Won't.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I guess also is that I want to, you know, stress that we try to look at, you know, the people that we serve, which are seniors, 60 years and older, as, you know, what are the needs that people have as they're aging in place, and what can we do at Project Independence to help connect them to what they need. And like the topic today was depression, loneliness, those types of things certainly can increase in the wintertime, we know that. But we really wanted to be constantly kind of reevaluating. Are we
Yeah,
doing
right.
everything we can? Is there more? Is there something better we should do? And, you know, things change through the years. You
No, and
know,
that's what I
this,
like
you
about
know,
Project Independence too, is that, is really the diversity of different things. Like, let's say you want to go to a program, some people love a medical topic.
Right.
There's some people that just like love to learn, about all those things, and that's their thing. But I do think what is nice that we've done too is in the programs that you've mentioned, they're more of like a social kind of
Yes.
realm of things, but really, impact, as we were saying earlier, your emotional health. And I was thinking, we had such a lovely program that one of our social workers just did this week, which was a holiday
yes,
cookie
it was
decorating
great.
program. And I was thinking, the pictures, everyone just looked so happy. And Deborah made all these cookies, so they didn't, and
baked
like,
them all
which
in
is
hot
the
water.
best, which
Yeah.
I would love Deborah to come to my house, like,
I
just
know,
let me
I know.
decorate, But I was thinking, like, it's probably so nice for these people because, listen, to bake cookies from scratch, it's time consuming, it's a lot of work, it's a mess. And, but it's such a nice feeling. So I was thinking that these seniors got that moment that they were able to kind of have this holiday tradition thing, that they were able to do. And people are talking about different things. And I
Right.
think it happens so organically, these things. And
Right.
it's,
And we did
it's
the
just so
Kindness
nice.
Rocks.
Right.
We did the Kindness
That was
Rocks.
right. It was an intergenerational program. Yeah.
Over in Westbury.
Like what you talked about, cookies and whatnot, some people love to cook, and that's an outlet for them.
Yeah.
Thank God there are people like that.
Bless
But other
those
people
people.
really don't like to cook.
I know.
They'd rather be doing a good takeout
Me.
or,
I feel you, me. I'll cook because I have to save
Right.
money,
Yeah.
but I don't
I
really
think
want
cooking
to.
also, now that we're on that topic, years ago was more of a thing that people paid more attention to because you would
Yes,
have
home cooking,
dinners at home.
Right.
You
Yeah.
would have your friends
Right.
over.
Right,
And I
yes.
remember having friends over, have dinner, play cards,
Right.
and
Yeah.
socialize at
Right.
home.
Right.
Doesn't happen too often anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of
Unless
the,
it's a party event,
immediate
yeah.
family,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like we'll meet you for dinner at
Yeah, yeah,
Larry's
that's
pub
true.
or whatever.
Right.
It's just different.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's true.
But it is great to have those great friends. I have a lovely friend who loves to cook a home cooked meal, and I'm like, I'll be
Oh,
over. Just tell
that's
me
fine.
what.
I mean,
That's
I don't think I
wonderful.
was like 17 or 18 years old before I went out to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just didn't go out.
No.
Well, there's
My
just so
mother
many options now,
could
right?
cook she
Yeah.
could cook.
Yeah.
She was a great cook, my mother.
Yeah, I come from like a family of one. And listen, I also, when I do cook, it's fabulous. I want to be totally clear.
Well, you specialize?
My big hit, people love Kristina's meatballs. And they're
Meatballs.
simple, they're
The tur-
nothing
are they the
crazy.
turkey
Yeah, I do
meatball?
turkey, I do
Yeah.
Greek, I do all different versions of meatballs.
I
But I
buy-
bake them. I'm
I
like,
buy
I'm a
mine from
meatball baker.
Ivorone.
Yeah,
Right,
well,
right.
and they're delicious, and they're quick. I love to make, my big kick now is like meatball flatbreads. I get the naan bread and I do like a meatball with like vegetables on the naan. It's a big crowd pleaser
So hungry.
in the
I
Lou
have to
house.
start eating
I'm
breakfast
starving. I know.
before
I'm
the show.
famished.
Between Junior's cheesecake
Yeah.
and meatballs.
We're all very
Okay.
hungry. But I do, and listen, cooking is a perfect example of something that, some people love and get lost in, right? So
See, I'm a
it's finding
specialist.
that.
Like I used to be able to make some really good home fries.
Ooh, I love a home fry. I support that.
Onions and,
Ooh,
Right.
Otto. who
Christina
knew?
supports your home
I
fry
support home
cooking.
fry. I will sample. You want to,
Get them crisp.
delicious.
not like the kind you get sometimes. They're like mashed potatoes.
Don't like
No,
it. The
no.
crispness is key. I'm so hungry. I can't even think about it. But it's really, my stomach is growling. Everyone who's listening on air
I
will
love
probably hear me.
breakfast,
too.
actually, now that I think about it.
We better stop talking
Yeah.
about food.
I love breakfast too, like a nice breakfast. Like
What do
if
you
I'm
get
going
for
out.
breakfast?
It depends. Well, listen, I always need to have some kind, and I share them, so I don't do it all myself. But I like to have like a blueberry pancake or a waffle or a French toast, right? So that has to be in the mix somehow, just
Yeah.
to a sample. So I'll split it with the whole table. I just need to have like a piece of it. I love a Greek omelet. I love a home fry. I love a croissant sandwich with an egg and
Oh
cheese.
my gosh.
Incredibly delicious. So
We said don't talk about food.
love it all.
What do you eat
I
breakfast?
like.
I mean, but I don't eat breakfast
Well,
during the week.
that's
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about going to a diner.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
diner, yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I usually get breakfast if I'm going to a diner.
Yeah,
Like
me
no
too.
matter what time of day it is, I'm probably gonna get breakfast.
I
Or a
eat
burger.
breakfast,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I
That's
like
right.
Swiss cheese omelets, rye toast, and orange marmalade, and very strong coffee. You just
Well,
never
it's
go
really
back to a
just a
diner
que-
that the coffee's not good.
Do you drink the strong coffee with sugar and milk or just black?
Well, my normal thing is just almond milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but no, not
'Cause I
black.
like
No,
strong
no,
coffee.
no.
I like dark coffee. So
Black
I
coffee.
just
Dark
do
roast
I do like a
and-
splash of milk and that's it.
Well, I use no fat,
Yes,
half and half,
yes.
whatever we use. But almond creamer is what I normally use.
Yeah, I'm black, I have black coffee.
no,
but-
oh my gosh,
But now
no,
I
no.
am I go from healthy to unhealthy.
Yeah, but you know, we're in moderation. That's why
your moderation. That's
that's how
good.
being on
I'll
a
have
roll. Yeah.
2 eggs over medium, well done home fries with the big fat sausage.
Oh, I love a sausage. No, I love
Or-
it.
We really can't talk
Or
about food.
a veggie omelet with well done home fries. Dry rye toast.
Okay.
Dry.
I'm a dry toast girl too.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Otto, we
I'm
are the
butter
same
toast
person.
all the way.
But orange marmalade sounds
I
appealing.
love orange marmalade.
Now, I had a sandwich that I bought recently that had fig jam.
Love
I
fig
love
jam.
fig jam.
It was really, I never
love
had
Nice
it.
holiday thing, you know, and everyone listening, I recommend buying that because it's lovely on a
Yes.
cracker. It's really nice
Yes,
for the
with
holiday
some
season.
cheese,
Yep.
too, yeah.
I always have that at a
I
party.
never had it. I had it
Yeah.
on a sandwich.
Well, guys, we are approaching a break, and now I'm even more hungry than I was prior. After the break, Paula, Otto, and I will continue or start talking about what's going on in the town North Hempstead. You're listening to Project Independence and You, Talk of the Town on LIU Public Radio.
WCWP is your home for great music and great conversation. You'll find all that and more on WCWP.org. Listen live on the web, check out the lineup, subscribe to podcasts, and stay up to date on the latest station events. Get in touch with us and let us know if you like what you're hearing. And find out how you can support or get involved at the only community public radio station serving Nassau's North Shore. Plus, sign up to get a free bumper sticker. It's all online at WCWP.org.
Welcome back to Community Talk Radio. This is Project Independence and You, Talk of the Town on LIU Public Radio. Let's talk about life, the town, the holidays, you know, wherever this segment takes us.
Okay.
Otto, I'd like to do, before we dive into this, I know last week's show you had the plight we discussed about what to do in this world of streaming, cable, and the so many different services. It's overwhelming. Anyone of any age can certainly relate to that topic. Because it's the managing of all these things. And you were having quite a switch over. He had a smart TV. So give us a quick little follow-up, Otto, of what
Okay.
transpired.
Well, last week was chapter 1. That was replacing a 9-year-old smart TV with a new smart TV. So that was semi-traumatic. Because everything looks different. You're looking at the screen and you're saying, where did this come from?
Right, right,
All right, how am I
right.
ever going to learn how to use this thing? So now you've got 14 remotes and you have to pick the right remotes.
Right.
I still have my old cable remote and my new smart remote and my Amazon Prime Fire Stick remote.
Wow.
So I got all these remotes. So
Right.
first thing I got to do is figure it out.
Well, now, if you have a smart TV, won't you not need the Fire Stick anymore?
Well, that's coming.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I jumped ahead.
You have to transition.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's going to be, that's on my checklist.
on the checklist,
actually, that-
gotcha, okay.
You want to see my checklist, right?
So
here?
neat. Look at this man's list. It's so neat.
Okay, so that was chapter 1. That
Okay,
took about
chapter
a day
1.
and a half, all
Okay.
right? By the time you get everything, so your stuff that you had on the TV before, you can finally see it again, all
Okay,
right?
got it.
Chapter 2 happened yesterday.
Okay.
all right? And that is converting to fiber for 4 cable boxes and a whole bunch of other stuff, all right? Well, the first problem was they have to bring the line in. The line was already outside, but now they have to bring a line into the house. In order to bring it into the house, it had to come into the closet in my office, which hasn't been cleaned out in 10 years. So now I got to move everything out of the closet. I ended up throwing out about 2/3 of what was in there, which was a good thing.
That's good.
But that was part 1.
Right.
So if we get the line in, you can't get it through the hole.
Always.
To get the new line in, I have to help the guy from the company get the line through the hole. All right. So we get the line through the hole, and now he's on his own. I'm not
now that's it,
assisting
I'm
him.
Otto is tapped out. He clocked out for the
Yeah,
afternoon.
That
He's
was the
done.
end of my knowledge.
Yeah, that was it. He
all
said,
right?
"This is where I'm done."
So, okay, he's got the line in and he starts and, doing this and doing that and, okay, find out, your username and your password is going to change for your router. Oh, I see. So that means everything from my Alexa, my Ring, my Gmail, my this, my that, everything has to change, all right? Okay, fine. So we can't do that yet because it's not hooked up. Okay, so we go through this whole thing, and thank God my son-in-law, Bill, who both of you have met,
Yeah.
shows up, and he's starting to teach the guy from the company about, he knew what he was
Right.
doing, because he just did this with a friend of his.
Okay.
I think Bill's got a side job, he could just take the
Yeah,
show on the
well, so
road.
you find
Yeah,
out
being
you
Otto's
have to
son-in-law.
change everything that is impacted by the username and password of your router. And that's anybody who comes to my house as well, who
Who uses your
uses
family
your- yeah.
is used to using.
And that's a big family. That's a lot. It's a lot
Yeah.
of cell phones.
I haven't told them yet. I might not tell them. I might not let
There
them.
you go.
Be a little-
That'd be an experiment.
Few bucks
Yeah, that's right.
involved here, maybe.
Yeah, well, if we're paying for this, they should pay you.
Yeah.
But anyhow, okay, fine. We start out, the laptop, that was easy. That worked. The search, find a new one. The phone, that was easy. Bunny's phone was easy. We get to Ring. I got a Ring doorbell, a Ring on the garage, a Ring in the kitchen, and that wasn't so easy. It goes 95%. We've downloaded, and you connect it to your Wi-Fi network. Then it says, whoop, it stops at 95, and it says, we ran into a problem. So now even Bill, we spent an hour and a half.
Oh, Otto.
And we still haven't connected, all right? And there's a variety of reasons. Point of the whole thing is, if you are listening to this show and you're gonna do something like that, make sure you have somebody around
help
who
you.
knows what they're doing to help
Yes,
you.
to help.
Yeah,
you.
'cause it's overwhelming.
It's
Yes.
not,
Yeah.
I'm pretty literate.
Yeah, right.
I really am when it comes to technology, but I found that this could be pretty overwhelming.
Yeah, it
Yes.
can.
Right. And the other part of it is, what I didn't know, I use a DVR a lot. Okay, everything that I had recorded before is no longer there, all right? The schedule is still there, but the
Yeah.
recordings are
Right, right.
gone. That wasn't too traumatic. I do have a little dongle that they gave me
A little what?
from.
Oh, yes. The
one of
insert.
these-
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
uh-huh.
From the box.
Yes.
Right.
That he says everything is on there.
Yeah.
So now I have to figure out what to do with that dongle.
Well, I think you could just put it into your cable box.
No, there's no
Oh, the new
box.
cable.
The streamer
my
is as big as
gosh.
this, all right? There's no time
Oh,
on that
gosh.
anymore.
Oh,
So
no,
I'm
I don't
buying
like-
a little
any of
clock
this.
Because we're so used to seeing the
Yeah,
time
oh, gosh.
on
Because
the,
it's all wireless now.
Oh,
Yeah,
that put
it's
me
all
right over the
wireless.
edge.
No,
a little tiny streamer, all right?
Wow.
So I buy a clock. I didn't get it yet, but I buy a clock because we're so used to seeing it.
Yeah, that's the only clock I have in my house,
It's
pretty
on
much.
the
Yeah.
cable box.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that and like the stove.
So anyhow, it was about 8:30 last night.
Oh, jeez.
Did you get to enjoy a show at least? Did you
When
get
I had
to,
a beer.
You deserved it.
after
Otto.
a long
You
day,
earned it.
Otto?
And anyhow, well, my point is,
Yeah.
it'll be worth it in the long run.
It will be.
But
And you have to think of it
Yeah.
too. What's nice is that your DVR box, it's now clear. So that's actually a nice,
Starting
satisfying
from-
feeling.
well,
too.
it's good to start things
It is.
over
Start
Yeah.
fresh.
from scratch.
Yeah, you
And
start
there was a
fresh.
lot of
Good time
stuff
of
in
year,
there
too.
that
I know, I get
wasn't
it.
going to look at anyhow.
I get it. I have
right?
crazy things saved on there, and I'm
Yeah.
not sure why, but
But,
it's
then
just
there's
trivial.
things like, okay, now I can take my phone and I can communicate to my big screen TV
Right.
and show stuff.
Yes,
All right.
and that's great. And I use
Yeah.
that feature all
Yeah.
the time. I'll tell you, the
Yeah,
AirPlay
yeah.
feature
Yeah.
is a very.
So, I
good
mean,
feature.
I do have a long list here of about 20 items that still have to be done.
Yeah. Wow.
You know,
Well, you got a busy weekend.
Yeah.
There you go. I can't wait to hear
I don't
chapter
charge that
3.
much an hour.
I know that's.
well, I got my son-in-law who I don't,
Doesn't charge you at all.
no, take him to
I
dinner,
would-
maybe.
I'll take him to dinner, maybe.
They take them to
I'll take him to dinner, maybe.
Maybe.
But anyhow, if you're
Yeah, it's
gonna do it,
overwhelming.
and you
Yeah.
really don't have
Yeah.
helping hands, and you buy a smart TV in the first place from somebody,
Yeah.
it might pay you to pay the $100 to have it
Yeah.
installed.
Someone come in.
Yeah. Right.
Absolutely.
Let them do it.
Absolutely.
That's
the best
Good,
advice.
well,
I
good
think.
tip.
Yeah.
Hot tip. There you go. And
Yeah.
around these holidays, I know, it's so true because especially these holidays, I know everyone, gives their, senior in their life,
Yep.
some kind of electronic, right?
Oh, we get
'Cause you wanna
calls
keep,
after
you want to
the
keep them,
holidays.
right? You want to
Yeah.
keep them connected. So whether it's an Alexa or like a Google thing, I mean, there's all kinds of different hot
Well, I
products.
was a big one on that
Yeah.
a couple of years
Yeah,
ago,
yeah.
right? And the more time goes by, the more I understand the difficulty
Right.
of getting somebody, even if something like Alexa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change the cable thing, okay, now Alexa doesn't work. Oh,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Gotta go to all the Alexas and
Right, there's a lot of
change the
steps,
username and the
yeah.
password.
Yeah.
All of it is connected.
Yeah.
But listen, that's why we have programs like the Smart Van with our partnership with Family and Children's Association.
Yep, they're
I mean, you can
wonderful.
call them directly, and then I'm actually going to be having the van coming in the springtime. I'm working on dates because that's a great place to go. You
I
know,
should have bought my whole smart TV.
you should have. You might have been able to recruit someone to come to the house.
To their van.
You should have been like, listen, I need help here. But it's important, and I would, ask, with different libraries, you could ask questions too, because it
Yes.
is, unfortunately, a lot of technology assistance, requires money,
Right.
so, but there
Yeah.
are these free programs that, are certainly.
Money or
better.
people who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very
Friends,
lucky because
family.
I have, my brother is an IT guy, so we have him.
Oh, that's-
But I have to
Some
say,
people
I'm
have
quite
a-
good myself. I've figured out some things
Well,
myself.
some people have a real intuitive instinct, like
Yeah.
my son-in-law.
Yeah, my brother is just,
He just, he knocks
Yeah.
it off. He
not
can
me.
figure it out right away,
Paula said, not me. That is not, everyone's got their strengths.
Not at all.
That's the
I
bottom
haven't
line
mastered
of
my
this.
laptop.
Yes.
Kristina.
It's all right. That's why we all pull weight with each other. But I want to remind people that Project Independence has so many great programs coming up. Unfortunately, our holiday party is maxed out. We have so many people who
Yeah,
signed
it's
up,
gonna be great.
which is really nice as well. But
What time is that?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock?
Yes.
And there's food,
There is breakfast. Yes.
Yeah.
real breakfast.
Well, I'm not sure if the menu community services handles the full
not
menu. I'm
sure.
not sure if the
I'm not
full
sure the
menu.
menu.
Two are making like pancakes.
No,
We are not.
no,
I
we're
will
not.
be doing a hot cocoa bar, though. I've been tasked with. So there will be a nice little hot cocoa bar. But if you are listening to us live tonight, which is Friday, December 13th, is the Yes We Can Community Center's holiday tree lighting and celebration.
That's today,
That is
yeah.
today, yeah. So if you're listening to us live, you must be listening live. It starts at 5:30 p.m. The event has like a little party with light refreshments, music, dancing. There'll be some performances, carolers, and of course the tree will be lit. This is at the Yes We Can Community Center. Right in Westbury. So it's going to be a
Yeah.
lovely event. I know Community Services has been
working
working
very hard on it,
very
yeah.
hard getting all that planned. So there's really fun little things that go on, I have to say. And then we have this Winter Wonderland, and it is, excuse me, it's a garden at Clark Botanic Garden is transformed with all kinds of enchanting illuminations, decorations, holiday
so
cheer.
nice.
It's really a nice event for the family, and there's a bunch of different dates. It's starting Saturday, December 14th, and it's going to remain open daily till 7 p.m. through December 24th.
So is that just during the hours that the garden is open normally, or is it special?
Yeah, well, they have special events each
Oh,
thing, but
okay.
it's going to stay open until 7 in
7 o'clock.
general.
Okay,
But
that's
the
nice.
events on Saturday, December 14th, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., which is tomorrow if you're
Mm-hmm.
listening to us live, is enjoy treats. There's face painting, crafts, photos with your favorite Frozen characters. So it's really fun for the whole family, the grandkids too. 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. there'll be a story time. Tuesday, December 17th, which is adorable, is at 5 p.m. is Santa Paws. One night only, enjoy doggy giveaways and a photo with your dog and Santa.
That's
and
great.
December 19th, there's a little pajama party that's there too. But it's just a beautiful place to just go
Just go
anyway.
and see,
You know, speaking of finding your happiness,
Right.
that's one of my favorite things around. I love to, we'll be walking our dog, my husband and I, and just to look around and all the lights, and people have their
Yeah,
different
it's such a
things
pretty
and,
time.
and what they choose, and being nosy like Otto admitted to, I'm that way as well, Otto. So I love to scope the neighborhood, and my dog might be as nosy as I am. So Jay is like, you two, like get it together, because we're stopping, we're just staring at
Usually
at
dogs
everything.
tend to look around down.
Yes, Easy is so nosy. He knows what's going on in there. If he could talk, he knows what's going on in everyone's house. He will stop right there. And if you have a dog in the house, he knows you have a dog in the house, and he'll be staring at your house. But what is really nice, dogs love Christmas lights, so it's a very
Yeah.
cute little thing too. It's very magical. You see like how magical it is in their thing. But really fun stuff, and it's a free event, and it's sponsored in part by Dogtopia and Target. Are sponsoring these events. So really lovely stuff. There's going to be a menorah lighting on December 29th. That is going to be at Mary Jane Davies Green at 3 p.m. So there'll be little things there. There'll be a rabbi will be joining. So I think it's so nice that the town has all these different lightings, and they're free. So go, join the community and certainly become part of it. So really, really nice things. And then also, which I love working at Clengie Martin Park, because I always scan the area about all the events that are on the table. And the county is doing these candlelight evenings. And this is a fun-filled experience featuring 19th century buildings lit by candlelight, an 1886 decorated Christmas tree, Civil War era Christmas songs. There's stories of Christmas past. There's a traditional bonfire, hot apple cider. It's at Old Bethpage Village Restoration. Friday the 20th, Monday the 23rd, Thursday the 26th, through Sunday the 29th. So it's a whole bunch, and I've done this before, and it's so nice. So if history is your thing, which a huge part of my family, or love the Civil War and
I know, is it an it's an evening program?
yes,
I'm just
evening
seeing
program.
now.
Yeah, because it's
Evening.
all candlelit,
Yes,
but it's really
very
nice, and
pretty.
it's not too far from it. But I saw that, so it's a nice. If you're trying to find something to do this holiday season, certainly check that out.
Nice.
I also, before anything, I have to give a shout out to my mom, who will be turning 70 years old
Yay.
on
Happy
Sunday.
birthday, Barbara.
This Sunday,
This Sunday, she will be the big 70.
roaring 70s.
Yes, I know. She said, she's like, I never lie my age, but I don't need to like plaster it everywhere.
You just told everybody.
But,
Right.
so I think she should be excited, and there's a reason to celebrate her every day. So
Like a teenager.
see, there you go. That's what I said. Otto, that's right. You talk. Say it's nothing. That's my favorite thing, I must say, about working for Project Independence is that I'm just forever a baby to everyone. So it's the best place to work. All my friends get upset about their age, and I said, Otto said I was a baby, so I'm going with it. Last week we had our town clerk on the radio show, and she was promoting wonderful programs. And I want to remind people that on Wednesday, December 18th, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., there's extended hours to get your passport applications. You would call 516-869-7977 or 311 to book your appointment. So it's a nice thing to I love that you
How
can
far
still.
in advance do you have to get a passport renewed?
That's
Yeah,
a
it's a
great
great question.
point because it does take time. So I think it depends on like what kind. I know sometimes there's expedited things because
Yeah.
most people are like, oh my God, my passport's
I
expired.
wonder how you can do it so
And-
it's not like an, oh my God.
Yeah,
you know.
I always I had to do mine when I got married and, my name changed, so I had to like re-up it. And I think it was good for like 10 years, don't quote me. But I would call 311 and they could certainly let you know because I think what's nice is that when you're at the clerk's office, these things are kind of move a little faster because it's all, right there. You're getting the photo done and all these things. It's a kind of a one-stop shop, if you will. But yes, it's I know all my friends are like, oh my God, my passport will expire. And like, next week I'm going on vacation. So I agree, Otto, it's one of the things to add to your list
yeah.
to prepare.
'Cause you don't think about it.
Yeah, it just
Really,
sits in
everything-
my
Well, because
safe.
it's so long.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
if there are veterans out there, by the way, there's a
Yeah.
card that you get, which in little fine print has an expiration date on it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I reminded myself when we had people here about 3 weeks ago, the guy who was the paratrooper.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I looked at my card and I realized it was about a week away from expiration.
Really? So what do you have to do to renew that? Is that
Well, I
something you
went
just?
to
That's the veterans
VA
card?
in East Meadow.
Oh. And then they just renew it right there on the spot. I had no idea that there was an
no,
expiration
no.
date. I did not
So
know
now I'm
that.
pretty good now. The next one doesn't expire till 2034.
Oh,
There you
good.
go.
There you
Wow.
go.
I'll only be.
I'll go with you when you have to renew that one.
Think. Yeah.
Wow, I never know. You just gave a good
I'll be
tidbit.
98.
You'll be here, don't worry.
That's right. Absolutely.
show.
Absolutely.
Right.
We're still be going strong on this show, baby.
That's a goal.
Yeah.
Goals.
I
right?
want to remind people that next week is our last show of 2024.
Wow.
We're going to have on Manda Cristal, who works for Family and Children's Association, who we've had on the show a bunch of times, who's going to talk about the latest tips on frauds and scam prevention. Unfortunately, as we all know,
so
this time of year is 'tis the season to
Yes.
get some kind of scam. The amount of scam text messages I've received in just the last week alone. I mean, because clearly they have me pegged for someone who gets a lot of packages.
Right.
So it was, and this one was really close to, like, I needed to really just take a moment.
Me too. I had
Because it
one
was
like that too.
UPS, and it wasn't like your normal UPS looking scam, because I'm like, okay, that's like a scam, but it was
Right.
like your package experienced some errors, so if you click here, and I was like, it's very plausible.
Yeah.
I've ordered all kinds of crazy things. It's I had a beanbag chair coming to the house for one of my nephews, and I was like, maybe it did get held up. I was
Right.
waiting for this, so I think they're preying on you, saying,
But
okay, I'm
then,
gonna click this. Oh
if
my
that's-
gosh. Well, we're gonna have to jump back into scams. After the break, Paula, Otto, and I will continue talking about what's going on in the town of North Hempstead. You're listening to Project Independence and You, Talk of the Town on LIU Public Radio.
Take WCWP with you wherever you go with the WCWP app. Listen live 24/7 to all of our streams, all from one app. Plus, call the studios directly from the app and visit our social media. Download the app through the iOS App Store on Apple devices or the Google Play Store on Android by searching WCWP Radio, or visit WCWP.org for links. The WCWP app, available now on iOS and Android devices.
Welcome back to Community Talk Radio. This is Project Independence and You, Talk of the Town on LIU Public Radio. Let's talk more about what's going on in the town and a lot of the wonderful shows we have up. Before the break, we were talking about scams. And I just want to remind people just to be, hyper aware around this time of year, because it's coming at you from so many different angles. And I'm telling you, the amount of emails that I get saying something about an order, and a lot of these times it could be a scam or it could be phishing, it could be so many different things. And the text messages, I haven't even listened to my house messages. I miss my car warranty.
too.
That one really fell off. We talked about that one a lot on this show, and that
I
kind
haven't
of,
listened to ours in like.
yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I will try to do that before
You
this
know
one,
what,
'cause I'm sure
where
there's
I've
something.
seen a couple of them that you have to be really careful is on Facebook, all right?
Yeah, good point.
Elon Musk was selling a whole bunch of wonderful gadgets
right.
on Facebook, all right?
Oh, on Facebook.
Which is, I can't believe to be true. He's not selling some stupid gadget for $30, all right? Number one, it looks like a good gadget. And then I look and I say, you go to Google, look it
Yeah.
up, and it's scam,
Yeah.
right? Another one is like shirts.
Yeah.
There's a thing
The
for
fire
shirts, you
shirt?
can get 10 shirts for $35.
I know.
Oh.
And there's a picture of the shirt, and it's a beautiful looking shirt.
I know.
But do not click on that.
I know.
Right.
I know. No, because that's how they,
And you look at
really
the
get you.
name
Yeah.
of the company.
No, 'cause
They
you
had
have
it
to be
Under
like an
Armour
investigator,
logo,
yeah.
Right.
And it
It's
wasn't
no,
Under
right.
Armour.
Right.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because that's like another, version, because you're getting scammed, especially the holiday. You're buying all these things. My Facebook is flooded with, different things to buy. And something, you're right. I stop. I'm like, my God, that's just so nice. And then, you have to
They're really
resist
good.
the urge to click on it, because you're
How
right.
many clicks do you think they get?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot, because it's like instinct, because it's like I actually have to like stop myself, because you're just scrolling away, and it's just like you just want to like doop,
It's
and
like answering the
and
phone.
it's
You tell people,
geared
don't answer
towards
the-
things
if
that
you
you're
don't know the
interested
number.
in,
You
so
know,
it's
The problem sometimes is like you're expecting a phone call from a doctor.
I know,
or, you
I know.
They have
And you
just
see a
that
phone number and it looks like,
Right.
okay. And
Close.
and so I answer the phone and
Yeah.
I don't say anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then nobody
I
on the
see.
other end says
Right,
anything
right,
either.
Right. And that's, it's
You know.
good. Yeah.
I know it's tough, you just have to, but we just want people to be aware, and I'm sure next week Amanda will give
yeah.
us all the tips and tricks of how to do that.
And they're very helpful. When we've had, some seniors
Yeah.
that had issues related to scams, we just call them right away and they jump right on it. And they brought in, the assistant district attorney
Yeah.
from the county for fraud. Just extremely helpful.
Didn't you
So,
have one where somebody
A house,
Had a lot of
yeah,
money taken.
big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when those
like
home repair scams were really
$20,000.
going around, when it was these roofing, I mean, I
Yeah,
knew it was these
and knocking on
horrible,
people's
elaborate
doors.
things.
Because they can go outside and look and see,
Yeah.
this looks broken, this could, and that's what people are worrying about. I need a new roof, but I can't afford it, maybe next year, or people.
No, it's
in
the
this case, it
panic,
was a
right?
widow
And it was
lived
just
alone.
the panic that they ensue in you,
yeah.
it's just
Sometimes they
horrible.
break things so that
Right,
Well,
no,
that's what happened.
exactly.
That's
No,
exactly
that's
what
what we're
happened.
saying,
so
yeah.
you can fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
They
was
can fix
crazy.
Yeah.
This was a crazy thing. So, but anyway, my point is Mando is wonderful and family and children. So
Yeah,
if
so
you have
tune
any
in next
question,
week
call us and we'll
to
connect you.
to listen to her. She'll be great. And then we have a bunch of great shows coming up in 2025, which always just sounds so futuristic to me, like 2025.
Me too.
So January 10th, I'm really excited. We're going to have on Wendy Godell and Connie Wasserman, who are
wonderful.
from the Godell Law Group. They're going to do the intersection of elder law and social work, achieving safe and successful aging in place. We have on the Cornell Cooperative Extension will be on to do healthy resolutions, transforming your new year with smart eating. Because, we'll have the holidays will be over by then and we can get into
Right,
wanting to
right.
eat healthy again. On January 31st, we're going to have on Dr. Penny Stern, she's the chief of preventative and lifestyle medicine at Northwell Health Katz Institute for Women's Health. She's going to talk about stress reduction in the new year. So we're going to try and just build our toolbox
Right, there you
for
go.
2025. And of course, if you missed anything, you could always go to the WCWP YouTube page or the Project Independence website as well, or watch us on North Hempstead TV, of course, too. So really,
We got
good
a
stuff.
lot of days off coming up.
Oh, look, Otto's fully in his calendar.
3 days out of 4.
I
3
know.
months or 3 days.
Well, that's the holiday, the holiday schedule. It's how it goes.
No bowling. What
Well,
am I
now
gonna
you
do?
can rest yourself. You could really prepare for when we come back. Is how it goes. So on January 10th, Otto, you can come in full force, and ready to go, ready
I'll
to
just come and walk around.
just
On
hang
those
out.
other days, I'll just walk around the parking lot.
It's all right. Dan will have a visitor.
Yeah, but the parking lot's never gonna be finished.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
still going
On
out there.
private
Look,
space.
this guy loves to monitor the progress of parking lots, Dan. So, Tully Park's done. Otto will
Right,
now
right.
switch to
That
LIU.
project is not gonna be started till the spring.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, it makes sense, 'cause it's too cold. The ground's, yeah. Absolutely.
It's too cold.
Well, Otto, we can give updates, in the spring of 2025.
Updates.
By the way, someday we should, I don't have to go bowling. Just nice walking back here,
Yeah, is
Yeah.
it really?
Beautiful
Yeah,
walk through the,
through the whole complex back here.
Really?
Yeah.
the Chipmunk
Otto, I think you
Trail.
should make a little.
Oh, that's good to know.
You can make a
Okay.
little
And there's
list.
a house back there, the McGrath House. My wife's maiden name is McGrath.
That's
Ah.
the president's residence.
Is it?
Oh, look, Otto, just really, I'm impressed with how you.
I mean, one good
Nail
day
down this compass.
when we were here,
It's
I
a beautiful
walked,
place to walk.
I
I've
did
done it a lot.
walk
Wow.
after the show, and it's really beautiful back there.
Oh, well, you know what? I will gladly join you for a walk after the show. Yes, I will certainly when it's warmer out.
We
Though.
should do
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I know that Otto
Schedule
is.
it for April.
Yes, exactly. We'll kick it off for my birthday.
But not the birthday weekend.
But yes, because it's a little cold. And Otto is very dedicated because he will go to Jones Beach in freezing cold weather, which is very impressive.
See, that's interesting.
I'm
Is that
impressed.
Like last week?
Did you do it last week?
Yeah, we did. Man, the wind was howling though.
Right, yeah.
Especially on the beach. My God, it's even
And
windier.
when you walk in one direction, the wind is coming at
Right,
you.
and
When
then
you
the
walk
other-
the other way, you're lucky you can even
Stand.
stand.
Yeah.
The wind is blowing, but we shut it, we did admittedly cut it a little shorter.
Well, I
Yeah.
think that's even better that you actually went.
But you got that nice sea air,
Yeah.
fresh air in
Yeah.
your lungs, a little bit
A
of
lot
it.
of it is that, and also, believe it or not, in
The sun-
the
little
winter,
sun.
they have a lounge area there that's open.
I know.
On parking field 6.
Hmm.
I don't want to let too many people go.
He doesn't want to blow up his spot.
What time do you go?
So we congregate in that lounge after.
Oh, there you
And
go.
everybody
Nice.
starts talking about, stuff.
Nice.
That's really nice. I like that.
Like actually, one person was talking about their, I won't even say, well, I can, their mother-in-law is definitely showing signs of dementia, but they can't get the mother-in-law to go to the doctor. The doctor that she does have is questionable in their judgment. So they're asking me, how
Yeah.
do you
Yeah.
get somebody who has to be
right for them.
diagnosed
Yeah, to get diagnosed.
as MCI or dementia.
Right.
How do you get them to go to the doctor?
Right.
And I think the conclusion was you don't.
Yeah.
What about a home visiting doctor?
I asked my doctor about that actually 2 days ago.
Yeah.
There aren't too many of them around.
There's not too many,
There isn't,
but
but
there
there is
are.
some, right?
But yeah, because I know our
Northwell has
nurses.
some, yeah.
Through Northwell has scheduled.
Now, can
and,
they make a diagnosis like that?
Oh, the doctor
Yeah,
goes.
the doctor can, yeah.
If they're not a neurologist?
I'm not. I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm
what
sure
exactly-
like, I mean,
probably.
But I think
basically-
they could
Initial-
evaluate
yeah.
it to a degree where they're going to say, this is a dementia related.
Right, and it might
type
be
of-
referred to
but
a
what's
neurologist or
causing it?
something.
Yeah,
That's
but then
another
they
story.
refer, now that person
Yeah.
has to
Right.
be willing to
Yeah.
go.
No, it's not. It's
Yeah.
a really
It's a question,
hard
but
issue.
if the person is a North Hempstead resident,
Well,
they
how
can
do
call
you go
311.
about, and actually, this person does not live in North Hempstead.
Oh,
East Meadow, East Meadow's not in
No, it is
North
not.
Hempstead. So how does that person go about getting?
I can ask our nurse. I can ask Joanne what the best way is to
Yeah.
refer somebody.
yeah.
Because they use, obviously
network, right.
Northwell has a huge system, yeah. So I can ask Joanne if she has that information. And we can get that to you, and you can get it to your
And
friends.
these are just the perks of people living in North Hempstead. There's
Yes.
such wonderful
Well, they are
resources.
lucky, I think,
It's just I think about that all the time. Because we more often than not get phone calls from people who don't live in the town.
Right, yeah.
Who are like, oh my God, please. And of course, Paul is very kind and will help out with resources.
You probably can't talk an hour about home visit doctors, but you could definitely talk about it for a 20-minute segment
Yeah.
sometime.
No,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Maybe we
No,
should
there-
ask Joanne, we should ask our nurse to come on and talk about that. That's something that, because, that's definitely an obstacle to getting the care that you need. And sometimes then it progresses to the emergency room, and that's exactly what you don't want.
Well, in
That's-
this case,
the
that's
worry.
what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And you can't always,
Yeah.
we can't fix that,
No.
Yeah.
No, and there's definitely, because there's other home doc thing, because I'm always looking at that too, because I know especially during, COVID, that kind of ramped up, people wanted the doctor to come, rather in the home and stuff, and then there were these televisits and things like that, so might be a good segment to have, like, just kind of different options, certainly for all that, because transportation is hard,
But
right?
maybe telehealth in
Yeah,
that case.
right.
Maybe they would be willing to do a telehealth
Yeah.
visit with like family there or someone they trust.
Yeah.
And everywhere offers that now. I mean,
Yeah.
every system, yeah.
Absolutely.
that's
So
a possibility.
These are all little things, but if you live in the town of North Hempstead, you can call 311 or 516-869-6311 to connect to one of our fabulous social workers and
I'm
nurses.
going to ask you one more.
Sure.
There you go.
We've got Paula here.
There you go. Ask away.
We've used the phrase smart pill dispensers in the
Yes.
past. Is there such a thing as a dispenser that automatically will dispense the pills when you're supposed to eat them? Or
Yeah, like
not
there is.
eat them, but take them?
On like a timer, you mean?
Yeah, like when we talk about a smart pill dispenser,
Yeah.
what does that really mean?
Yeah, there actually is
There
a
is-
company
yeah.
that does that it is smart, and it is on a timer and stuff. And of course, they have a simpler one that's like, companies will do like a pre-packaged pill pack.
Right.
They'll do all the legwork of having it, individually, and you just kind of pop it open and take it out. But there was a company, many years ago, we had them on the show, and I
Yeah,
can't think
yeah.
of what their name was now. But it was
But it does
kind of this thing that
exist.
almost looked like a laptop, kind of concept.
Yeah.
That, was a pill dispenser. And I have to look back and see what it was because,
I don't think we see much of it. though.
No.
Out in the fields, I don't know.
I think it gets a little like labor intensive, for some people
Well,
and stuff.
that's
and you
my
have to,
point. When I hear that,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself,
But listen,
how smart
I mean,
can this
think
be?
Yeah,
about how
yeah.
things go, right? Like
You still have
the
to remember
technology,
to go
prescription,
to the
everything.
place and
So
take it. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure in the future there will be something that's probably a little sleeker and easier
Still
to
can't
use.
make people take it.
No,
I know.
right.
Well, it's hard. It's
If
one of
there's
those
nobody
things.
there,
Everyone's got their
Right.
self autonomy, and that's really just a tough thing. Believe me, I would love if I could just force everyone to do the right thing, at all times. But unfortunately, it's not how it works, Otto.
Well, that's what we're
the
talking about in the
please
first
educate.
segment.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You know, doing exercise and doing whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you should do that.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
It's not a secret.
No.
It's
Right.
all over the place.
Right.
Right.
Doing it is a different
Is
story.
the hardest
Yeah.
thing.
It's like sports, all right? I can read every golf book on the planet, and I look at all the videos on the planet, and I know exactly what you're
What to
supposed to do. But then doing it,
Right,
that's a
that's a
different
different
game.
story.
Oh, I get it.
Right.
I understand. It's tough, but
Yeah.
that's why you just eat an elephant one bite at a time, Otto.
Yeah.
I was really glad that I was able to get that in to the first segment because that's my favorite line of Otto's, and I was just like, this is so fitting, and I'm so
There's so
glad.
much truth in that.
It is,
Yeah,
and
yeah, totally.
I use it. I can't even tell you how often I use it in just conversation with my friends, and I always quote Otto, when I do use it.
Well, I'm going to ask you another question, all right?
Sure,
This has to do with,
of course.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it is.
well, this is of interest to the
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
who
Right.
live in the town of North
Absolutely.
Hempstead. I think about things like John Ryan mentioned many times about how families get broken apart because of stuff, all right, after they're gone.
Yes.
So I look around in my own house and I say, there's a lot of stuff here. There's this picture, there's that, there's
Right,
whatever.
yes.
What is your view of, from the receiving end of something like this, where if I say, okay, you all decide what stuff you're interested
No,
in?
That's the worst thing.
that's the worst thing. Yeah, I agree.
Well, like you mean like you have that
Well, you're s-
conversation with them?
yeah,
Are you
like-
talking about?
Yeah.
In your current
Okay.
state.
So if you're currently,
All right.
yes. Okay, then
Yes.
I'm for it. I thought you were saying,
No, I'm saying,
You're not in the picture. It's like post-Otto,
yeah, I'm not here.
and you're just leaving it up to everybody figure it
no.
out on your own.
No, sir.
No,
No, sir.
I don't think that's a good idea.
That's a bad idea.
I would have the conversation. If
can
you
ha-
want to have
right.
a conversation
Individually,
right.
you can
Now,
have the, yes.
So it's okay
yes.
to do that. That's how-
Absolutely,
Yeah. So,
absolutely.
Like, I mean, there's some
Encouraged. more-
photos that I know were purchased by my first wife and I.
Right. And
when
so
we were
your
broke
yes.
in
Right.
the Poconos
Right,
somewhere,
right.
And the story's on the back of the
Oh,
picture.
I like
But that would be so meaningful to
Yeah.
one of
You know,
your
I'm
children.
putting it
When
for
you're
that.
not here,
Yeah,
then it
yeah.
has more meaning.
Right. Yes, yes, that's
Okay.
true.
I'll
So
sign
I
me up
got
for that
clearance.
photo. I
Def,
want
you
that.
big clearance,
I got clearance.
encouragement.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's
No one's
much,
gonna
much
like that
better.
conversation, but you should
It's
have
right.
it.
No,
I agree.
right.
I'm not shy about having
Conversations,
those kinds of
yeah.
conversations. Like my daughter is now the legacy holder
Right,
for
right.
ancestry. You know,
Yeah,
I did a
that's
lot
great.
of work for ancestry.
Yeah, yeah.
So I really
You
would
wanted
hate
to
see
keep it
just go,
going. Right,
you know.
yeah.
So I'm not shy about
Yeah,
that.
and you have to think too, it's going to help the relationships of your children
Yeah.
after you're not here anymore. So there's it decreases that, sense of
Yeah.
someone got more, someone got
Right.
what I wanted. And if you hit a bump in the road now, you have time to figure it out.
Yeah,
Right.
agreed.
So-
Agreed. I'm with Paul on
Yeah,
that.
So
I
here's
would
what I
definitely.
thought then.
You're
I
exactly
make
right.
a list of the things that I
Up, it
think.
always goes back to a list.
I
Right.
I
think
got it on
these
the
are the
list.
things
No, that's
that
good. I
might
think
be
a list
worthy
Of interest, right.
of somebody thinking about.
Right.
Unfortunately, I do have also what I call a museum, which is a bunch of boxes with old stuff.
Yeah.
I like that though.
That's on you. That one's on
Well,
you,
like my
Otto.
baseball era,
Yeah, yeah.
So add that
yeah.
to your list and
We
see.
played
See if
for
you
the
got any
city
Yeah.
takers.
championship
Oh.
and,
But they might want some of that,
Yeah.
Otto.
and I had a
Yeah.
good game when we got into the city championship
Yeah.
and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which was important to me.
Give like
Your
a little-
grandchildren might
you
want
give
it
a little
too.
story with
It's-
each box
yeah.
and see whose heartstrings it tugs on. You
Yeah,
know.
but I mean, so, okay, so does anybody care? That, some of that stuff, maybe nobody cares, and I understand that. Some of it's important to
you.
Right.
It's like, okay.
Right.
I know,
right.
but you know what
Dump
it is
it.
too. Like, I'm a firm believer. If it was something that was so important to you, then like it's important to me because it was important to you. I mean, when my grandfather passed, he had so many cameras, old cameras, because he was a photographer. I'm not using those cameras, but the fact that it was so important to him, I was like, this is now mine. Like, this is, and even my dad played hockey for a bazillion years. You better believe, like, I'm not throwing away my dad's old jerseys because it was like something that my brother might be, on the other,
Well,
on the other side of
I
things.
still have my Navy uniform, and believe it or
Yeah,
not, I
that's
still
like- that's a
fit
part of
in
your
it.
story.
I still
Yeah.
fit in it.
Oh.
Look, he wanted
That's-
to throw that in, everyone. He said, I still fit it. Oh my gosh, guys. Well, There you go. You can make, I like that, Otto, talk to your family. But we are at the end of the show. I would like to thank everyone who listened to our show. This is Project Independence and You, Talk of the Town. I'd like to thank Paula and Otto and Dan
Kristina and
for
Dan.
joining us. Join us next Friday at 10 a.m. on LIU Public Radio. Goodbye and have a great weekend.